So I consider myself a supporter on Twitter of like VTubers and stuff. Like if you want to promote a debut coming up, if you got an event coming up, you're more than welcome to tag me under the tweet and then I'll throw it a retweet. I like to help promote people's platforms. I'm getting a lot more back into that these days, but there is one type of tweet that I have regularly been fairly against, which have been going live tweets. Now, one of the things that I have against going live tweets is that you're not going to be getting all of your engagement like right away, and the majority of the time, at least from what I know of in Twitter engagement, most people aren't going to be seeing your tweet until like hours later. So it's not necessarily viable to tweet going live. Like, go right ahead and tweet going live, just don't expect engagement off of it because it's really hard to grow that, that attendance kind of thing. It's easier to do if you're a much bigger creator because you're still going to get a percentage of people coming over. So somebody that I know, that I deeply respect, had put out a little experiment of their own on Twitter to see which type of announcement would gain or garner more attention. Would it be a going live tweet? Or is it just a different way of announcing that you're going live on Twitter that'll be more helpful? Now, I do have another picture or another thread I do kind of want to pull up because it caught my attention real quick, but I will get into that a bit later. With those three, I don't know if they do or not, to be honest. Anyways, so Mama Remedy put out a small scale experiment regarding going live tweets. Disclaimer, this was an extremely unrefined test with one control and only one experiment, more of a comparison test. There wasn't much structure involved, so take results with a grain of salt. Now, she put out 2 tweets within a few minutes of each other. The first tweet is your standard going live tweet. You're saying you're going live on Twitch and you're giving a little description of the thing. You're tagging some people that you might be collaborating with, or and you're dropping your link in that tweet, like in the main tweet. And then her experiment tweet is this thing here. This is the first experiment. I posted a control just now. This is the first experiment post. You don't need to engage. I'll be looking at the base analytics. And as you can see, just from 8 minutes apart, the difference right there. But she goes into depth. Control. Here's her explaining what she actually did with her control and the experiment. The control has the tags in post, link in post, no image, announcement in text, and no hashtags. The experiment has tags in reply, link in reply, image in post with credit, no announcement in text, hashtags in the post. The control was posted first. 1 hour in, we see similar metrics for both tweets, with the control being slightly ahead, initially in impressions, but behind in likes. Early at 3 hours in is when there was a significant jump in impressions and likes in the experiment. Notice half the retweets. So here's the activity of her control tweet right here, where you can see 400 impressions, 42 engagements, and 10 link clicks out of 400 people seeing that tweet. And the 42 engagements, which are not just liking or retweeting, it's also doing the thing of clicking that and then engaging with the tweet. Now, here is her experiment with lower impressions, but higher engagements, about the same, detail expands, that kind of thing. You do see more likes on it, you see less retweets. So it does seem like it's getting pushed out a little quicker. And then I believe this is the 3-hour mark, yes, where the impressions have gone up a little bit of the control tweet, and you can see a little increase in engagements, but not a whole lot. And then we look at the experiment where she's got more impressions, more engagements, and like even a follow off of that. Wow. So just from this little bit so far, it's looking like if you don't have your links and tags in your first post, your tweet is going to be doing better. Further into 3 hours, there's another significant jump in impressions, engagements, and likes for the experiment. Now we've almost doubled in impressions. Wow, you can see that jumping. An hour later, at 4 hours, there is another large jump in metrics on the experiment, more than doubling. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see her keeping track of the engagements and impressions of this tweet, or of these two tweets. And that's a pretty big difference. There's the 4 hours in where some more impressions, but not a lot more engagements. A lot more impressions and a lot more engagements. Then 17 hours later, the metrics have widened even more significantly from the control to the experiment in terms of likes, impressions, engagements, details expand, and very importantly, profile visits. Now, for those that don't know, it's really good to have people checking out your profile from your tweets because, hey, they get a chance to see ya. Jesus Christ, 6,000. 100 profile visits of people seeing this experiment tweet and being like, I'm going to check her out. Now, wow. 15 likes, 4 retweets, 239 likes, 9 retweets. I'd like to add that at 257 likes, 162 people were following me. About half of that number or less were mutuals. So my tentative and personal hypothesis based on the very limited test are quality instructions with text can potentially help circumvent issues with external links in announcements, as well as using suppressed terms like, quote, going live, streaming, Twitch, etc. Moderate tags in the replies do not significantly impact the OP, original post, visibility. Ad credits do not affect the visibility even in original post, credit your artist. Impressions and engagements begin to increase hours after posting, so it may be viable to announce the stream hours in advance of said stream. Sharing art and content can increase profile visits and engagement overall. Moderate tagging of others in replies, for or less perhaps, does not visibly impact the visibility of the original post. Moderate hashtags in the main post may increase visibility. I may conduct other tests, but again, both these posts were made within minutes of one another, and there is an undeniable difference between the metrics of the first and second, in my opinion. That said, I have a specific platform and a specific audience. None of this information should be taken wholesale at face value. There are definitely factors outside of my control that I cannot account for, and there are probably better, more sterile ways to run this test to provide more reliable results, but I think this is still valuable information. I'll add a 24-hour result when the 24 hours have passed. Now, we have those results. These are the final results after 24 hours have passed. In complete conclusion, Twitter is absolutely not ideal if you're using it to strictly announce your games and art making on other sites. Ideally, you use Twitter to promote your polished or work in progress content and regularly redirect people to your other platforms in advance. Now, here we see the final engagements. 16 likes for the final tweet, 4 retweets, 11 profile views, just above 1% of the people that saw the tweet actually checked out her profile from it. Now the next one, 8,000 impressions, 76 likes, 11 retweets, and 13 comments. 4 retweets. 8,000 impressions, 600 engagements, 3 followers off that tweet, nice, and 144 profile visits. That's a lot less of a percentage of profile visits from the tweet itself, but still the rest of the metrics really make a big difference to me, at least in my opinion. If you insist on announcing your gaming, arting, what have you, consider posting them initially well in advance using imagery and text in the image. In the announcement, and minimizing tags and external hotlinks. External hotlinks will work if you get enough engagement otherwise. Best case scenario is your Twitter post will likely be seen hours after you posted them. Worst case scenario is you're relying almost exclusively on these in a format that is getting them suppressed, and like a graphic spot, you're probably getting gradually suppressed overall if you're doing this. Using copy and paste, having disproportionately high number of followings to followers, and not engaging with others in your circle or genre. She also does later go into following versus followers on Twitter and her opinions on that. I will potentially go over that in a future video. But overall, this it plays towards my biases, that I already thought that your tweets aren't going to be seen right away rapidly. They're going to be seen a while after, like hours after. So I tend to not bother to retweet going live people. It's why I tend to not bother tweeting out my own going live stuff. Now, where is your own experiment? There. Now, somebody else has gotten a bit of an idea to try a little experiment with going live tweets. And this person being Mummy Mortem. He put out a comparison tweet, or he tried out a comparison tweet. New info just dropped. I've been struggling with making going live tweets for forever now, but I have a solution that worked perfectly for me. Literally just make a screenshot of you going live and use it as a tweet with no text. Retweets appreciated. Examples. Literally that, where it's just 5 retweets and 12 likes. And then when he does that, it's like less. Though, this could be a really good idea. For me, I think a lot of the buzzwords of people, or the buzzwords like going live, streaming, Twitch kind of thing, can be 100% avoided by literally doing this. You could probably put in a little bit of text of like subjects you're going to be talking about without getting too descriptive. Kind of like what I do with my streams for their titles. Anyways, this has been a very niche subject for like streamers specifically, but I think it's worth talking about because there are a fair handful of streamers in my orbit that watch my stuff, and well, I think this could really help them. Well, I'm trying to find you on Elon's Hellscape, but I just bought a 12-pack about Jangle's Hard Iced Tea. My ad is the same one as my YouTube. It's in the bottom right of the screen. At Mistress Briley. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on Twitter. It's like burning itself down thanks to Tesla and Mizusi. But like for now, it's kind of still there. It's pretty necessary. It's not necessary. I don't personally think it's super necessary for your growth of your platform, but it is extremely helpful for networking with other creators. That's literally the main reason I use it. It's to network with other creators and as well to, well, talk about stuff, to find out what's going on in the word of mouth of VTubers. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.